We might have to do that again. Yeah, so I just turned on the mic, so maybe you didn't and nobody heard that, but yeah, it's Mike from 424. Here's Jay Anderson, Operation Notable
Yo.
Hemisphere. We're just doing our thing tonight, straight chilling. I'm just checking the audio. We're just hanging for another live stream if you want to come through. Says they're not receiving this. Skizzo's here. Hey, what's up, Matt? How's it looking? How's it sounding? I was wondering. Jay, you didn't have to dress up. Oh yeah, it sounds good then. Cool. Yeah, so we're just chilling, Matt. How's it going? We've got the AC going on in the background. That's all good though. Cool. Yeah, so we're just if you're catching the replay, sorry about the audio in the beginning. Yeah, we're every 7 p.m. Every 7 p.m. Eastern, we're here. No, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, we do the live stream. And yeah, we look forward to having you through. So come through if you're watching the replay. We're excited to get started and just chill. Like I said, I haven't seen Jay in like a week, so I'm excited to.
And here I am looking at my phone again.
I feel like we're like on a talk show for some reason, like making it.
I don't know.
Yeah, man, I'm not gonna be doing Monday vids anymore, right? For right now, I'm working on a couple other projects for the channel that are gonna be kind of bigger idea videos. So yeah, right now I'm scaling it back a little bit with the podcast, with the stream tonight, and with Friday videos. Like, just been feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So I'm trying to get ahead of the podcast thing and keep interviewing people and doing that. And because a lot of people are feeling that and having fun with that, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So I don't know. Just Mondays lately, I've been pretty busy, so it's tough to. I don't know. Schedule out enough videos. I kind of want to focus on making maybe less videos, but make them better, if that makes any sense. Because I feel like my chat with Steven from Noir at Blanc V, he kind of inspired me to take a little bit different of a look at the channel and where I want to go with it. So you should change your description. Oh shoot. Okay, thanks, Matt. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things. Like, there's like a description of that in so many places. It's hard to. Because I just copied it from the old one. It's hard to like get them all. I think I probably still will be looking for ones. But yeah, thanks, Matt. If you see any others, let me know. Sorry that Mondays are no longer a thing. Oh yeah, new videos are. Man, you're good, Matt. Let me know if you find any others across the 424 landscape. Good eye, man. Thank you. All right, I just saved it. It should be good. Cool. Should be good to go. Yeah, Monday because yeah, Monday I don't know, man. It's just too much. Just too much. Like, you know, at one point I was doing like, I think I told you, like 6 or 7 videos, so it was getting crazy.
Yeah.
I just don't have the time, and at one point I was so far ahead that it was fine, but now I'm kind of like, and I've been working on the songs each week too, so that's like something that's been taking a little precedent. And
Yo, what's going on, Andrew?
hey, Andrew, would you expect anything less? No, definitely not, Matt. Thank you, appreciate you, my friend. Yeah, so Matt actually had a crazy dream he was telling me about via email. We should get your take on it, Jay. So, do you think it's possible? His dream was basically he wrote this song, and it was doing really well on Spotify and streaming, and then he got like an email from a band that was like, cease and desist, you stole our song, and he listened to the song in the dream, and it was like almost identical, and he didn't rip it off. It was like Blink-182 or something. What do you think? Do you think that's possible? Like, for two people to come up with the same like song
Sure.
and idea? Yeah.
Especially if you wrote it on a guitar.
Because there's only so much, right?
There's only so much you can do with it, and most songs tend to be in a major key, so there's really only so much you can do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I had that happen. I wrote a song when I was like 16. And when I was like 19, I bought a Pennywise CD. And on the Pennywise CD was my song.
Really?
Like, well, fuck. Yeah,
That's
I
funny.
mean, and I'd never heard the song before.
Yeah.
I wasn't a Pennywise fan for several years.
That's what I was saying too.
Until several years after that.
Huh.
So
I guess it just
knows?
happens. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys are like on the same wavelength. You're doing a certain type of music, maybe. Because that happened with me with some
knows?
writing stuff I was doing a while back. I was doing some writing, and I found an author that some of the stuff was almost identical, like the sentences and sentence structure. It was like the strangest thing because I'd never read any of this stuff. We were influenced by similar writers, so I guess.
I mean, that kind of shit happens. It really,
Yeah.
like, you know, when it comes to music, you're you know, unless you're writing on like an Indian instrument or something with semitones where there's like, you know, this whole multiplex of available combinations.
Yeah.
You know, writing on what we would consider, I guess, traditional instruments, sort of limiting.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like I always talk about the bagpipes having such a limit with its 9 notes. You know.
Yeah. Right.
It's like, I mean, I could play, you know, any combination of about 5 chords on a guitar for any fucking song you could ever play me on the bagpipes, and that shit'll work. But that's as far as you can go without being way the fuck out of key with the pipe.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're bound to write the same song somebody's already written, and you're probably going to do it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I guess it is, for as much as the guitar seems infinite in its the amount of notes and combinations, like I guess it is finite at the end
Well,
of the day.
it's also like, you know, the things that sound good to your ear, or to most people's ear, tend to be a pretty standard chromatic sequence, you know, and you tend to write around that chromatic sequence whether you realize it or not. There are pleasant, you know, pleasing intervals,
Yeah.
and you know, that leads to a lot of crossover, I feel like.
Right. That makes sense, yeah. So I guess
What's
there
good,
you have
Coop?
it. Hey, what's up, Coop?
So yeah, I mean,
Rolling in,
I could
everybody's
see.
rolling in.
But you know, I mean,
Yeah, especially if both people are influenced by the same bands, yeah. I mean, there's also that thing, like, sometimes, even if you don't realize you've heard something, you can hear it, and then it kind of gets lodged in your brain. Like, there's
Sure.
there's like a name for that phenomenon.
I don't know what that is, but what's up, Malcolm?
What's going on, Malcolm? Thanks
Yeah,
for
I
coming
mean,
through.
you know, there's a riff that I always play on guitar, and I really like it. And then I was listening to a Dinosaur Jr. CD one day, and I'm like, fuck. It's not the same riff, but fuck me, it's close enough to be problematic.
Yeah, right. Well, and that's like one of your big influences.
Yeah, but I totally wasn't in that headspace when I was fucking around with that riff.
Yeah.
It's just a weird shaped C to a D with a movement on the D chord. But like if you moved that up the neck or capoed and played it again, you'd be playing some version of Freak Scene. So I can't really keep that. I play it all the time. That's like my testing amps riff.
That's cool. Well, at least you can use it for that.
Yeah.
Oh, Coop said that's
Yeah.
happened to me too. Pretty sure it was even. That's funny.
Well, you know, the interesting part about it being Dinosaur Jr. is that, like, Jay Mascis has this weird way of putting together songs where he doesn't really give a fuck about key signatures or, like, that chromatic sequence or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to accidentally cross a line and end up where he's already been.
Right.
But
I really dig dissonant stuff because of this. Because there's more combinations, do you mean, Andrew? Oda, what up?
yo,
That's funny, yeah. I like this. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot. I was thinking a lot about That's funny, today I was driving around thinking about dissonance as well. That's funny you bring that up.
well, you know, if let's say you wrote a song and you really like the song and then you realize that it's kind of similar to something somebody else already wrote, revoice your chords. Play it on the inversion, play it, you know, on high strings instead of low strings or vice versa. You know, add a minor third in there, do something to it to flip it over, and then, you know, you're sort of back to your own playing field too.
Yeah. That's cool.
But,
Hey, Julian, what's up? Thanks for stopping by. Good to have you.
yo.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right? or even change the key signature too.
Yeah, or like I said, put a capo on the thing, move it the fuck around.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like there's only so many combinations of even chords in songs. Like,
Sure.
that's what's amazing about how many different songs and people making songs there are when nobody's like writing the same thing.
But there are a ton of chords that like rock music does not utilize.
Yeah, right.
Like sixths. Shit, I can't even say that. Like major six chords, minor six chords. And they're all like almost fucking impossible to fast switch because the fingerings are weird as hell. But
right.
Unless
you're like a jazz.
Yeah. But I mean,
aficionado.
That kind of shit, diminished chords too. I mean, those turn up in a lot of like weird metal shit, I guess. But
yeah.
Not really in like a lot of indie rock because again, they're a weird formation and most people are not adept at fast switching those chords.
Hey, Catface, what's up? Good to see you, my friend.
So play with that kind of stuff too.
Oda asks, how many guitar pedals do you guys have in your collection? That's a great question. I used to have a lot more, but I went through and I had a great bloodletting over the past couple of years because I found... So what happened with me, I don't know, the Sans amp, that became my main distortion fuzzed out sound. So I kind of got to my tone quest, kind of ended my tone quest in terms of distortion.
Yeah.
Live, and so then I had a bunch of distortion pedals that I tried out and different pedals over the years. I'd say peak, like when I had, if I still had every single pedal I'd ever purchased and resold, maybe like 50 to 75. Is that
like total in your lifetime or currently?
Yeah.
Oh.
I would say like if I had every single pedal I ever bought, maybe more like 100.
What's going on, Daniel?
Hey, Daniel, what's up? What about you, Jay?
Hey, Catface, what's going down?
Oda has 42. Damn, nice.
Yeah, I would say that I'm probably currently in the 40 to 50 range somewhere.
Oh, yeah, currently I would say. I mean, I just picked up a couple of ones because I'm working on a new series I was just talking with Jay about. And that's one of the things I've been working on in lieu of the Monday video. So I'm kind of working on some bigger video essay type videos that are going to be coming out soon. But yeah, so I would say only now I probably only have about 10, maybe 13 with the new ones I acquired. But I really, I've gotten rid of a lot. But they always seem to find their way to you, though,
They certainly do. Certainly do. Funny. Every time somebody moves or something happens, man, it's like, yo, do you want this? Like,
hey, I found this flanger. You want it?
Fuck,
yeah, sure.
I have several like DoD multi-effects units from like the 90s and shit.
Yeah.
Those have probably one sound that I would ever use in them ever.
Yeah.
But, I still got them. I have power supplies for them. But like, fuck, the cabinets, the drawers, the half the closet in the studio, all over my house. There's pedals fucking everywhere.
Yeah, I used to have.
I have the Coffin Cases blood drive. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's a coffin-shaped stomp box.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was like a late '90s thing, I think. But
yeah, I mean, I guess the latest one I acquired before these was that when you fix the. I guess it's not really a pedal though. That delay, the realistic.
Yeah, that's sort of in between. I would count that because it's like not rack mountable and it's.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I gotta use that for something coming up.
I would.
Oh yeah, Matt sent me that. I think he wants it back, but the I gotta use that too. The Sans amp bass. I got that one too.
The RBI.
No, it's it's a pedal.
Driver.
It's like a
the little one.
Yeah, little guy.
Is it the Behringer one?
No, it's a Sans amp.
Bass VT.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, that one's all right.
Yeah, I've been meaning to use that on something maybe the next group of stuff. Might try putting the Minotaur through that. I got that Moog synthesizer. Oh man, we got a lot of chats.
Malcolm, if you want distorted sounds Daniel? On the 4-track, I would crank the record volumes, not the whole mix. If you crank the whole mix, you'll run the whole thing out of headroom and just clip the shit out of whatever you're bouncing down to, which is not really going to be what you're looking for, even though it might seem that way. I would crank your input trim on the guitar if you want to get it that way, and for vocals, I would do the same thing.
Yeah, is the early Ty Segall stuff is the whole mix distorted or the guitars? I'm not as familiar. I'm not too familiar. I mean, I know
I don't think the whole mix is distorted. I think
it's
it's
more
the
like
individual elements
the
that are
guitars,
distorted.
yeah.
Yeah. I could be
Okay.
wrong about that. I don't. I think I've listened to probably about 17 seconds of Ty Segall material. I
Yeah.
don't really know, but
Yeah,
and I actually
I'm not
think
as familiar with it. I know like some of the later stuff is very fuzzed out. It's like just fuzz, straight up fuzz. But
I think I listened to something because it came up in the chats one time.
right.
But
I would say yeah, like exactly what Jay said, definitely. So then you can control, if you want, you can almost have different layers of fuzz depending on how loud you're recording each element. Andrew said I'll have 7 with the Tascam. Nice, that's a good number. I like that. Schizo's got 40 to 50. Dang.
Daniel, the 414, the fourth channel is terribly scratchy. After you record in the mixer, you have to fidget the slider until you can hear it.
This is Daniel's? Yeah.
Yeah. Deoxit F is in Frank 5. Fader lube. Get a can of that. It's about $15. It's plastic safe, so when you inevitably get it all over the 4-track, which is what happens when you spray those things, you can just wipe it off and it won't fuck anything up. Get a can of that. Put the fader all the way down. Spray at the top of the fader. Move it. Push it all the way up. Spray it at the bottom of the fader. Wiggle it, and then maybe do that one more time each position, and just keep moving it. It'll clear up.
What is that called? Detoxit?
Deoxit.
Deoxit. I gotta get a can of that now that we're talking about it.
And it'll be F as in Frank 5, fader lube. Don't get the big flood can.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, don't get that. Get the smaller can of it.
It's still like a spray can?
Yeah, but it's adjustable. The nozzle's adjustable. That one.
This guy?
Yeah, that should be it.
Cool. Yeah, it seems like the prices on here aren't the
Go
greatest.
back down. All the way to the bottom. 5% solution. 5 ounce with headphones. What the fuck is that?
I don't know. These are all like third parties.
Holy
We're looking
shit.
at third party sellers of
Yeah,
Deoxit.
fuck that.
Where do you usually get yours from? Home Depot?
I usually get mine from New Sensor
New Sensor?
because I can order it dealer pricing from them.
This, yeah, you're saying this is a huge can?
It's not as much. It's a huge can, but it has an enormous straw on it,
Oh, okay.
and it puts out a shit ton when you squeeze the trigger. It's not adjustable.
So which is the one you said they got? It has like a different spout on it?
Just put Deoxit F5 in, and it'll be like the first little thing. See it on Guitar Center? Was it $13?
Yeah. Kig Deoxit, 5 ounce. 5 ouncer. Oh yeah, that other one was huge.
Yeah, you don't need a huge one for. And that's what I use for fucking just about everything.
Yeah.
They also make a fader grease, but the fader grease, dust and shit tends to stick to if you're not really staying on top of it. So I would use the fader lube. It's
Let me drop a.
It's a 5% solution, I believe, of solvent, but it leaves behind a slight residue that's a little bit oily. And you can use that to clean pots in your guitars and in amps and whatever. So
Link is too long.
yeah, I kept having that problem too.
I don't understand why they wouldn't just make a shorty link,
Well, what if you go over on the plus next to that?
Yeah, it's got like Twitter. What if I hit Twitter? Will it just give me? No, it's not even working.
Will it let you? Does it make like a mini link?
I could probably go to Bitly or what is that called?
Bitly, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we're just trying to post a link for that Deoxit. I gotta get some of this stuff too, because that's funny. Daniel, he said that's the exact same thing that I think was wrong with mine, right?
Yeah, I mean that tends to be a lot of what's wrong with a lot of people's shit.
All right, I finally made a little bitty. What do you call it? Bitly?
Bitly.
Made a little Bitly for it. So there you go. That's Deoxit. That's what we're talking about. It's from Guitar Center. I don't know if that's the cheapest one, but Jay said to get the can. So
yeah, $15-18 is pretty average on that stuff. So
yeah.
You can also get it from Marker Tech. I think they're around 20.
All right, so that's pretty average.
But
Yo, in your face, what's going on? Um, yeah, what else were you saying? No rush on the Sands, man. Oh, thanks, Matt. Yeah, I'm gonna use that. I think I was telling you, I'm gonna use that Sands VT bass Matt sent in. I'm gonna use it for like the Moog Minotaur. I think on the next stuff I do.
Catface wants to know if you've used your prototype task vamp on any of your new stuff.
Yeah, all the guitar solos on any of that new stuff that's coming on the channel the past like 5 recordings. That's all any guitar solo that's like the task vamp into the Pog, EHX Pog. So like anything that's distorted with that, that's straight up task vamp. I think I used it on. I want to say something on Wonders of Color too, but I don't think. I feel like that was after I got it after that, so that couldn't be that. But yeah, all the new 5 songs on the any song that has a lead on it. Speak Your Truth, the end lead. Big Deal Man, I don't think has any lead. What's the third song? Fantasy has it. Horizon has it. And well, the new versions have it too, which is something that's going to be coming out soon. But yeah, I have it all over the new stuff. It's awesome. That's what I've been going in, just direct in. It sounds great.
So Julian, I see you're using strip boards. If you're really so inclined, as far as building pedals goes, you should look at downloading Eagle PCB. If you don't know what that is already, it's a CAD software for designing your own PC boards for pedals and stuff. Makes assembly much faster and whatever, and you can use Osh Park, which is a service that does small batch PC boards. So if you ever want to step up from strip boards, that's the easy way to do it.
Are those like the breadboards, strip boards, or is that something different?
Strip board is like an entire, like, so let's say the board's this long.
It's like all the copper.
Yeah, around each row of holes there'll be a strip that runs end to end, and you cut them in various
depending
places.
on what you need. Yeah.
And that works pretty good. But if you to step up, it's really easy to do layouts with Eagle.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, definitely a lot. Is that's what we use for the task fan?
That's what I use for everything.
Yeah, those came out great. The PC boards.
The Death by Audio pedals are made in New York City, and my bass player actually is a dealer for them, which is sort of funny. Yeah,
Tom, right? That's what I was going to mention too. If anyone's looking for I think it's a DX7, Tom was telling me. He's got one Yamaha DX7 keyboard. He's selling one with the... It also has like a calzone case, and I think
it weighs like 17,000 pounds.
Yeah, it's big. But yeah, if anyone wants one or is interested, just hit us up. I'll put you in contact with Tom.
The Fuzz War, actually, the schematic on that is like a combination of the big muff with a little piece of the super fuzz plugged into the end of it, and it's got a bunch of the bipolar transistors stuffed in upside down, emitter and collector reversed, which gives you all kinds of weird breakup characteristic on the device. That's sort of it's like the angriest fucking big muff you could ever want to hear, and they're fantastic. We use it on bass all the time.
Yeah, and you've
going on there, Andy?
Chatted with, and actually,
yeah,
he mastered your last.
Yeah, he mastered the EP. I've been down to a bunch of shows. Tom's been to even more than that, and every time we go, we talk to Oliver.
Yeah, you guys
super chill dude.
It's cool.
He gave us a walking tour of the old Death by Audio factory before they moved locations and shit.
Oh, in Brooklyn there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
cool. It was fucking awesome. I went like through his house and
I remember going to shows there like way back.
Showed us the studio and shit.
It's too bad, man. All the yuppies. I've never personally used them, the Death by Audio pedals, mainly because the price. It was always
they're fucking.
It was kind of a deterrent for me.
With Tom's discount, the dealer discount, they're more reasonable, but they're still outside my price.
Yeah, they look really cool, and the ones I've heard, I think they sound great. But
cat face.
It's funny.
Dealer, can I get an ounce of one of those pedals? Yeah, what's going on there, Giant Tree?
Julian said he built his own fuzz gun. Nice. The new Fuzz Wars are. Oh, okay. You guys, I'm catching up here, man. And yeah, what up?
Yeah, Julian.
Oh, you're welcome, Daniel.
The Eagle build out the recent version is really sweet. And if you decide to get into that, you can email me. I'll give you what tips I can on getting started with it if you need help. I recently just moved my brother over to that, and he's been knocking out some killer fucking PC boards now that we got them running. But you know,
Cool.
it's super easy, and there are parts libraries around the internet that will greatly increase your success rate with part fitment and stuff over, you know, having to sort and search through the stock Eagle banks. But when you do boards in that program, though, you have to be really careful that you know, when you're ordering your parts, or when you're going through your parts boxes and trying to figure out what to use, that you're planning for the right lead spacing, all that kind of like dimensional shit becomes important.
Yeah, that's yeah. Malcolm asks, has anybody tried to do this now? 70s Little Big Muff? You know anything about that one?
I have used the 70s Little Big Muff, yeah. They're alright.
What's the deal with the Little Big Muff?
It's kind of a scaled down version of a Big Muff, which is a scaled down version of the Big Muff Deluxe, I guess, which has a compressor built in. I don't know.
That's cool.
It kind of sounds like a more mid-rangey, maybe slightly less aggressive Big Muff to me. But I've only ever used it with, you know, I've never had one. I've had people in the studio that used them.
Yeah, I've always seen them and been interested in if I could snag one on eBay or something.
They sound fucking great with a Jazzmaster, that much I can tell you. But
It sounded cool. I saw a video with Billy Corgan on Reverb. He was playing through one of the new Big Muff, like smaller box ones. I forget which one it is. It sounded good. It sounded like Billy Corgan through a Big Muff. But
yeah, he's a dickhole.
yeah.
Andrew, yeah, they. So what happens with Osh Park is, you buy however many boards. It's multiples of 3, so you buy however many boards you want within the confines of multiples of 3. And then he buys an entire panel, which I think is like 5x7 or something like that.
Yeah, this is really cool.
And he places everybody's 3 boards on this panel, and when the panel is full, he sends it to a fabricator. And he basically sells you your boards at, I forget what it is, but it's a price per square inch. He has them printed, he gets them back in a sheet, he breaks that sheet up, he puts them in his bubble mailer, and he ships them to you.
That's cool.
There's expedited options, there's, you know, heavy trace options, there's a whole bunch of different shit you can do. But and he has like medium run quantity pricing. I forget how many you got to order to get that. I think it's like 25 or something, 30 or I don't know, whatever.
And they update you along the whole process. Like,
oh yeah, he lets you know when
emails.
they're panelized. He lets you
That's
know
cool.
when they come back from fab and when they've been depanelized and when they ship.
Really good quality too.
There are places that actually do it even cheaper than that, but most of them have minimum quantities above what he's offering quantity-wise. My brother did one. I forget who the fab was, but I think their minimum was 10. But for his 10 boards, it cost him, I think with shipping, about the same money as Osh Park wanted to make just the 3 boards without the shipping. So there are cheaper fab houses, but you know, you're going to pay for different things at different places, I guess. And with Osh Park, you get the personalized service. So like if you have a problem with, you know, your design, or you're not sure about something as to whether what you've come up with is going to work, you can send it to this dude and he'll proof it and let you know that, yeah, this is fucked, or, you know, whatever. The first one I ever did, like years ago, when I put it through Osh Park, I hadn't realized that, like, you had to, I'd made ground plane, which should really just surround traces on the board or whatever, however you're going to do it. It would be one side with holes in it. So I made a ground plane on one whole side, and I never switched surfaces when I was placing the pads. So I basically had made like the whole back side of the board solid, and then I had made pads on the top of the board that were meant to connect all my traces, like jumper wires and shit, but they all connected through to the same ground plane on the back. So I submitted that thing, and I'm looking at it, and it's like, it was a total what the fuck moment. So I emailed the guy. I was like, I don't understand what happened. And like an hour later, he wrote me back, and he's like, oh, dude, you gotta, you know, delete that whole back layer. And
Just a trick. Yeah, I don't think there's any on that one. Oh, Julian said I tried various transistors for the super fuzz and it worked. That's awesome.
yeah.
And yeah, Mike, your most recent songs. Thanks. Yeah, I've been working on I'm excited to get those out. Thanks.
Entry-level pickup upgrades for a Strat copy. You need to go to guitarfetish.com. GFS pickups. It's Asian market-made stuff that a guy in, I think, South Carolina or North Carolina, something like that, markets from his place. It's real solid shit. Most of it sounds really, really good. And, you know, you can get like a whole new set of pickups for a guitar for like $70. And hot wound and whatever you need. He's got little sizes and big sizes and P90s wounded to shit that they don't belong in. And, yeah, it's good stuff. So guitarfetish.com. And we are not sponsored or endorsed by guitarfetish.com. This is my disclaimer. But
hit us up if you want to
yeah,
sponsor.
for real. Or if you want to just send some like P90s in humbucker cases, I could always stand some of those. I'm sure Mike could use some.
Yeah, sure. Throw one in the silver tone. Matt said digging the
Twin?
EHX. Yeah, that's the one I saw, the EHX op amp fuzz, op amp Big Muff. Oh, Andrew, I don't know if you answered this one. Can they run the Eagle software on their MacBook Pro?
That I don't know. I suspect. Well, I guess
your computer's pretty old, right?
I run it
Hey,
on
Giant Tree, what's up?
I run mine on a netbook PC from like 2009. Dave's using it on a MacBook Pro, but I'm not sure what year it's from. I think it was like, I think his MacBook is like a 2011, maybe a 12, something like that. But you should be able to get a version somewhere that will work on whatever it is that you're running, though. I have yet to see compatibility issues. And it's not like it sucks up like a ton of CPU or anything. It's a pretty low involvement program as far as that goes.
And your face is a 2007 MacBook runs super hot. I don't know. We got the dealer. Yeah, can I get an ounce of those pedals for sure?
Yeah, we're
2 versions of Fuzz Wars. One's unique. One is closer to normal enough.
The Fuzz War that I'm talking about, the one I've seen a schematic for, is one of the early ones. Yeah, probably, I'm going to say 5-6 years ago, something like that, I got that schematic. So
I'm not sure if I understand that question, Matt. What's a good fuzz to get that big woolly wall of mammoth pee-pee in me pants sound? I don't know, bro.
You want a big woolly wall of fuzz? I would get a Big Muff and I would put a Boxing Doll tone stack in it. So that you can actually vary what the mids are doing.
What kind of pickups would be best for that setup too? Like, I feel like humbuckers
on a guitar.
Yeah, because I feel like I've noticed like with certain guitars, like I remember trying to get that kind of sound.
A fat P90 in the neck position, roll some of the mids out of your Big Muff sound, and get that bass and treble rocking. That should do it. Make sure you got some good 12s running in your cabinet or whatever you're playing. That should just about do it.
Hey, Twin, what's up? We're catching up on the chat. Giant Tree said, speaking of Billy Clark, and I saw Pumpkins on my birthday. That's awesome. Yeah, they sound like they gave a shit. I saw actually for some reason it was like an upload of one of the recent Smashing Pumpkins shows, and it was good quality, like the sound, and I was like, wow, they sound great. Like Jimmy Chamberlain.
Corgan's a little fucking has-been.
Right.
Anyway.
I mean, I think it's cool that they're doing the victory lap. I think a lot of people, there's a lot of. I'm a Smashing Pumpkins guy. Like I used to really enjoy listening to Smashing Pumpkins growing up, and I'm glad that as much as they're, what it is, and Corgan has his thing.
Corgan is the problem. I mean, a lot of the music he wrote is weird and fucking boring, but there are some songs that really rip too.
Yeah. He's a pretty iconic guy or the band from the '90s.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you can mention anything about the '90s without '90s music without at least having a end note as to what was going on with Pumpkins.
Well, the Pumpkins, the interesting thing about them, I think, is where they came from versus where everybody else was coming from at that time. They're being a Chicago-based band and stuff. I mean, like, There weren't bands like that coming out of Chicago when they came out of Chicago. And
Yeah.
then when he got, super weird and went off the fucking deep end with, some of the shit that's on Melancholy and a lot of the stuff that happened after that, whatever. He's just an eccentric guy, but some of his songs are definitely endearing, and like Today's a great fucking song. I'd beat on the steering wheel every time that shit comes on the radio still to this day. Ever since it came out in 93 or 94
There's like
or
certain
something.
songs in that discography that are like 1979 for me. I fucking love that track.
Yeah.
And an interesting story about that one. I think they said they almost didn't make the record. They just put it together like last second, and he had the idea for it. And
Well, I mean, a
it's
lot
like
of
one of
their...
the most popular. It's funny because it's like it's very different than the traditional like fuzzed out shit. I like Adore too, the album.
I have Pisces Iscariot on cassette. That one's interesting. That's like B-sides and shit.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple songs on there that are good, but I feel like listening to that is like listening to Weezer B-sides or something. It's like, yeah, these songs are kind of cool, but like the band only gets so cool.
I mean, B-side collections can always be hit or miss, I think.
Yeah, like the Pixies B-sides are like that. There are some that are fucking great, and there's some that are like, holy shit, this shouldn't
There's
even been like
there's
a
a
B-side.
reason why it's a B-side.
Should have left that shit on the cutting room floor in the practice space or whatever. P90s all the way. Warehouse guitar speakers, actually, what's funny about those is we use warehouse baskets for some of our builds. We have a deal with them where they ship us baskets.
Oh, the speaker shop?
Yeah. Yeah, for some of the custom builds we do, we use a couple of their baskets. But their stock speakers tend to not really sound too good. I don't know, the mid-range is kind of weird and they're awful tight. But, whatever you like.
I've never heard of those. Twins feel.
There's a lot of people that love them and a lot of people that fucking hate them. So.
Twins said he's digging them. They're bright orange and really stand out. I've never seen those. Oh, nice, Julian. Pre-solo portion of Mayonnaise. Yeah, I like the first album too. Yeah, there's just something about the vibe of the like. Whenever I think of the Pumpkins, I think it's just tied in with so much nostalgia for me. Because it's just like it was, I don't know, just growing up as a kid. Like I just think back to like the glory days of being like, 12 or whatever, just fucking like, riding bikes in a field and fucking letting loose with your friends. Like I don't know.
I used to listen to the Pumpkins on cassette in my first vehicle, which was a little pickup truck. I used to skip school and ride around listening to that shit.
That's cool.
Yeah. That was like, I got Siamese Dream on double cassette. It was a radio station giveaway. They did like a live event at one of the pavilion places in Saugerties. And that's what we used to rock. Until somebody it fell on the floor and somebody stepped on it. That was the end of that. But see that gray basket right in the corner there? Like the first one?
This?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the basket we use for some of the builds that we do. Without their sticker on it and shit, obviously. They're
it's funny. I had never heard about these.
like I said, it's like a 50-50 split. There's no gray area on those speakers. Some people love them and some people really fucking hate them.
I was curious about where's the orange ones? Twins said they had orange baskets.
Who knows? Go to products.
Oh.
I don't know which one are orange.
Jimmy Herring. Oh. I've never replaced him. Wow. I guess people love him, man.
Some people. Go on like Gear Sluts and shit and read about those though.
Speaking of speakers, have you ever heard of the not to cut you off, the hemp cone ones?
Yeah.
What are they called?
Cannabis Rex is one.
No, but there's like this company that makes like maybe somebody in the chat knows. It's like this one guy. Oh, Tubby Tone.
Tone Tubby.
Tone Tubby. Yeah. I think that's. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Tone Tubby is one of those guys that fucking advocates breaking your speakers in for 48 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking dumbass.
Yeah, the Tone Tubby shit is, or Tubby Tone, whatever the fuck it's called. This stuff is expensive too, man.
Tone tubby.
Tone Tubby, yeah,
Yeah.
it's very expensive.
See, here's the thing about hemp cones. They're a pulp cone, and it's a coarse fiber pulp cone, so they tend to be thicker and heavier than a stamped or seamed paper cone.
Yeah.
The heavier you make the moving assembly, the brighter it is. So, if you want a speaker that has shitty low end, you put a heavy ass fucking cone in it, and it turns into a JBL basically. Sounds like shit, but it'll run forever.
Have you heard of anybody come through the shop looking for those, or
What?
the Tubby Tones?
Tone tubby? No.
Tone Tubby?
No.
Yeah, and apparently the guy...
At the shop, we don't order in bullshit speakers anyway. If you come looking for something, it's usually a period correct speaker for something, or it's a custom built Celestion style. Do tons of those.
Yeah, I kind of feel like there's a bit of marketing behind this. I mean, I don't know. Apparently the guy... I don't know. I don't want to shit talk stuff. I heard about these from Chris Davis, and he was saying, like... I thought that was interesting. The guy hears in color. I guess he's synesthesia. You guys know what that's called? Synthesizer? Forget. Basically, like, your senses are tied to color. Like, some people smell in color. Some people see in color. No. Some people hear in color. You ever heard of this? Like Pharrell from NERD. Like, he apparently can, and Lord apparently has this. They write their songs based on, like, the colors that they're hearing.
Can you name me somebody who writes their songs by the color that they're hearing that has talent?
But anyways,
you've just named me two people who have serious production teams.
Right.
What else you got?
Well,
I don't know what this means though. It kind of like, it sounds like fucking gemstones and shit to me. I don't know.
Synesthesia, I think it's called. It's like where your senses are tied to color.
Tied to color? How? Color is visual.
I don't know. They hear in color.
How the fuck can you hear in color? Color is something you see.
That's the whole thing. It's like...
So if you hear a sound, you see red? Is that...
Yeah,
is that
like
how this
certain
works?
sounds, like you say you hear distortion, and to you that you're like, oh, that's orange, you know?
That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
I don't know. Apparently it's a thing.
That's fucking... I don't know.
Apparently it's a thing.
I'm poo-pooing on that.
But
that sounds
anyway,
like bullshit.
so that's the idea behind the Tone Tubby stuff, is this guy hears in color, and each one of these...
Man, this speaker sounds fucking green.
Hey, that's the thing. He thinks like this is like what an orange sounds like to him. This is what
Oh my god.
green sounds like. This one sounds like light blue. I don't know.
What the fuck?
I don't know. You guys, I don't know if anyone in the chat's heard
This
of
is
it.
your official what the fuck moment.
WTF moment of the thing. Synesthesia. Yeah, it's a thing, right? You guys... Andrew said this is the reason I paint the music. Synesthesia. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we need to do more psychedelics. Anyone down with early Deftones? One from left field, and your face. I never really listened to much Deftones, to be honest. I knew people that were into them. I don't know.
Be Quiet and Drive. That's about as far into Deftones as I'll go.
Is that like album, one of the early ones?
It's a song.
Oh.
I forget. I think that maybe that's off Adrenaline. Could be off Around the Fur. I don't remember, but that's a great fucking song.
Yeah.
Um,
What up, Whisper Punk?
you know, not a big Deftones guy, but they definitely
Yeah. What's
like
the
in
White
the-
Pony? That's like supposed to be like a pretty good one, right? I don't know. I remember people digging that one.
I was in I think I was in junior high when Around the Fur came out, and we listened to that some. But what the fuck was that song? Shove It?
I don't know. I'm
think
like
so.
super unfamiliar. Like,
I think it's Shove It. That's the
I'll have
song
to
that
take it-
opens the
I'll have
Around
to check
the
them
Fur.
out. I haven't really.
Well, the interesting thing about the Deftones, I think, is the sort of like the texture of all the sounds and how they work together. It's not my favorite shit, but there definitely is something about that that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Chino Moreno definitely has a thing, but
Well, like another. That's not the vocalist.
yeah.
I know that he uses like a very specific vocal sound and specific pedals and things. Like, that's really cool.
So I kind of want to talk more about this synesthesia thing.
Okay, yeah. I was
I
trying to
don't-
catch up on some of the.
I don't.
Whisper Punk was asking, what's the process of recording your vocals? I guess for like you mean in general or for like specific release or something. I don't know. Usually just like I usually do them personally through like an SM50 Beta 58A, I think it's called. I used to just do them through like a 58, and then there's the one video on the channel how to record distortion or distorted vocals. I use this like PV, kind of like the Julian Casablancas stroke sound is like the vocals through like a crappy like PV bass amp or a guitar amp. Pretty much any PV that has that. What is that
Later
called?
on, twin.
Oh, later, twin. What is that called? The on those old PV amps, I can't remember the thing. It's like
Either the preamp out or the headphone out.
yeah, the headphone out. Yep.
The saturation control.
Saturation. Yeah. Basically, any of the '80s PV stuff that has a saturation,
Which almost all of it above about 10 watts does.
yeah, that's pretty much my main go-to sound. And then
Or the task fan.
or the the Task Vamp. That's going to be something coming
Sold
up.
out of stock, does not exist, long out of print.
Yeah.
So yeah, synesthesia. I don't know. I'm gonna have to research that. I'm calling bullshit, but we'll see. I mean, there are people who believe that fucking magic rocks charged in the moonlight make the boogeyman go away and bring money into them too. So I don't know.
Matt, what up?
I guess I'll have to do some research. But
Oh, you're welcome, Whisper.
But hey, you know what? Fuck it. If it's working for you, go for it.
Yeah, you don't full bore hallucinate. Yeah, I don't.
full bore hallucinate. So is this? You need like psychoactive drugs to do this?
No,
I don't understand.
So like, there's something. I think it's something with people's brains. Like, the senses are tied to each other. So I guess like their sense of smell is tied to like their sense of sight or something, or like more than most people's. I think this is the science behind it. So like, some people apparently smell things in color. Like they'll go smell a pizza and say that smells red and purple. I don't know. And people will they'll write songs where it's like,
That seems like when you're growing up, like there's
maybe your sense.
There's a cognitive break, like there's a fucking synapse gap or something, and you're replacing.
Right, it's like something to do.
You
with...
smell pizza, and instead of going, "Wow, that smells like pizza," you go, "That smells red."
Right.
Fucking no, it smells pizza.
Right. Yeah, it has something to do with the senses being interconnected.
I'm gonna research it because I'm sure there are papers on it. I'm
pretty sure it's
that.
It's like a scientific phenomenon. It's a real thing. I think.
I don't know.
Apparently, these people, these guys and women and people have it. So
I just don't get it.
It's just making connections in your head between senses.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's right. Major keys I usually interpret as warm colors. Well, that's the thing too, right? If you hear certain types of music, certain things I would say feel cold, certain things can feel warm. I think distortion and fuzz inherently feels warm. I don't know. Kind of feels like it could be you thinking that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're really getting close to the things like the bullshit buzzwords that people use around studios all the time.
Right, but I think to me that there's something when I hear a certain type of distortion, it almost I almost see a fucking laser beam in my head that's I don't know. It's I can't explain it. It's I feel there's certain albums, certain things make
you just feel all pink and purple and fuzzy inside.
Yeah, man. I think that there's something to
I don't know.
I feel a lot of garage rock, a lot of the stuff the first album I did, Me and the Machine, that was a very, I don't know, I want to say warm, hot feeling
That was a Red album?
Yeah, that was a red orange album.
So would you agree that Weezer's first album is blue?
Well, that's what they named it.
Or that the second or third one is green?
Oh, I don't know about that, yeah. I mean, the sound of it, I don't know. I guess I just mean certain fuzz tones and distortion, overdrive distortion, that shit all feels very warm to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just insane. I don't know. Maybe you guys.
I don't know. I think since it doesn't happen to me, maybe I'm just not connected. I'm gonna.
Oh wait, here we go. We got the Google.
Yeah, I saw that.
The production of a sense impression relating to one sense or part of the body by simulation of another sense. You're right. Yeah, minor or dark, cool. I definitely get that too. I feel there's a certain. It's I feel that's kind of the thing with music, right? It's if you create a specific mood,
I agree that The Blue is the superior album. You're correct.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
basically fuck everything they did after that. I'm sorry.
I want to hear what the band that wrote Pinkerton would have sounded like if they kept going in that direction rather than,
If you really want to hear like the root of Weezer, you got to go into like the early shit. You ever hear the track that's on the DGC Rarities comp? Jamie.
No.
It was recorded
live
to 2-track when they were all like in college and shit.
Whoa.
That's a great fucking song, man. And that to me is like the epitome of what that band should have remained. And seriously, why would you let the drummer become another guitar player or whatever? Anyway,
Right.
that was
apparently
dumb.
he was a guitar player that played drums.
Should have fucking made him stay
He's
the
a great drummer. Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Like I think that we get pretty deep into Weezer. I think like honestly, Matt Sharp's departure was the defining moment of Weezer. Everyone is blue. All right, later on, Andrew. Thanks for coming through. Hope we answered all your questions.
Hopefully, I stirred the pot for you. And
yeah, I never revealed that I felt distortion and like overdrive. That stuff. I thought that was really warm. I don't know. I got. Let me think on it some more.
Oh Jesus! Here we go.
Here we go. It's 8 o'clock, so it's we're getting into that time.
That's pronounced, or that's actually spelled Tiddys. You spelled it wrong.
Going to a fire at a buddy's house. That's awesome. Make sure you bring your distortion pedals.
Yeah, Boris's Pink is great. That I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I think distortion drenched. Hey, David, what's up? I didn't see you come in.
I didn't either. What's happening?
David says, I think distortion drenched in reverb and delay like the shoegaze stuff has different feels bluer and colder. Yeah, I could vibe to that. For sure. Yeah, like Jay's I think I'm like eat some vegan, nice. Awesome. That sounds awesome, Andrew. I hope you have fun. Have fun. Hey, David. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's like something to like different sounds and like moods of music and vibes and giving off certain colors. I mean, because certain colors are associated with certain types of moods,
Matt, going to catch this later, I guess. No idea what led the conversation here. Later. Later, Matt.
We don't either, Matt. See you later. Thanks for coming through. Jay needs to open his mind up, man.
Oh, man. Here we go.
Yeah, we'll have to, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, synesthesia. I'd like to meet somebody with that and really be able to pick their brain about it.
Well, Christ, it sounds like you have it.
I don't think I do. No.
Pick your brain about it, man.
I don't think I do, though. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to write something where each song is a different color, and then we'll see what it comes out as. How about that? I'll make a song where I think this is what orange sounds like, and we'll see what happens.
Fucking A. There you go.
I feel like anybody could do that, though. Like blue, okay. Write something that you think sounds blue.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to actually bring up My Bloody Valentine in this conversation. That's the first thing I thought of when you mentioned shoegaze. And I was also thinking like certain Radiohead's, like early Radiohead stuff too. Yeah, it definitely has a different vibe to it. I don't know. Yeah. The texture. Yeah. Yeah, My Bloody Valentine is like the quintessential example.
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't know what just happened. I just like went into a little space case here. Thinking about those colors, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I should do. Listen to stuff and figure out what kind of color it reminds me. Because I think the thing too is like all these people see it differently too. They're not all, like anybody who apparently has this they don't all see the same color scheme.
Well, I mean, I think people are entitled to whatever they think or believe. I'm not.
I think what Andrew was saying makes sense too.
I'm not like trying to take that.
He paints with music.
Yeah.
To kind of go with that, I could see that. Like you're painting to like explosions in the sky or something, and or like some kind of post rock, or like I could see that developing, or like putting you into a certain like mindset that uses like certain colors, or
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm not really too sure.
I don't know, man. Do we go off the deep end here?
I don't know.
I can't tell if like this conversation is like interesting, or it just seems really fucking dumb. I don't know. What you want? Is that off of which album is that on? Is that off the first one?
Wait, what?
What you want? Is that like the first? Is that the first track on the first one? On the first album?
I don't know. Princeton Chorus? Ooh.
What's that? Is that like a solid state?
Yeah. Just make sure the input jacks are good on that before you take it home.
Ninth track on Loveless. Okay.
I actually had one of those Princeton choruses. Is it the red knob version that you're buying?
Oh yeah, I know those amps.
So it's solid state, like a 90s thing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
Those are like a super twin or something too, right? There's like one.
No.
Red knob twin, isn't there?
Well, it's a similar era, but
Ebra.
But
Oh,
the,
they're still live.
but it ain't tube that Princeton chorus.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely.
Sessions are the complete BBC sessions on the way down here.
Oh, really?
Yep. I listen to Pixies all the time.
Yeah, Yeah, did the stream freeze, guys? Let me see. I wonder if my low power mode came on. Oh yeah. Frozen stream. All right, it goes to low power mode.
It's back now.
Yeah, it says like my phone will be like 20%.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it froze because it
happened
went on
last
low
week.
power.
Yeah, it'll say like low 20% battery left, so and then it fucking freezes. So Capro's over here. Let me see if I can get him. He's just chilling there with the pedals.
Sleeping on task vamp parts.
Yeah, sleeping on some Tasman parts. He loves the stream. He's always in here, loving on the stream.
Yeah, that Princeton thing I had was pretty cool, and then I started getting into tube amps and started acquiring and building tube amps. I sold that to some guy, I think, for about $80. But it's a pretty cool amp if you need something that has moderate volume and doesn't, does a chorus thing. I guess that's probably the most important part. Mine, though, when I got it, the input jacks were broken, which is why I bring that up. And it's really easy to replace those with generic chassis mount jacks instead of the plastic shit that Fender used. So if you need guidance on that, should that be a problem, let me know.
And your face said I associate Brown with chorus effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pixies always come on too. Like when I'm listening to streaming stuff, it kind of it knows that I want to listen to that. It always suggests that.
Giant Tree. I got into twiddling and fiddling with amplification and pedals and shit like that. Sort of out of necessity more than anything. When I was a kid, 13, 14, 15, couldn't afford cool pedals that did what I wanted them to do. Never really had a good amp. I used to I borrowed like a friend's Gorilla amp and I put a speaker out jack in it. I used to run it into like a 115 cab. It was a real like hood fucking thing. And then shit like that would inevitably always blow up because I was always doing bad shit to it. So I had to learn how to fix it. And then building like the first pedals I ever built when I was 13-ish. I guess it kind of snowballed from there. And then really like working on tube amps in earnest, I sort of was like pushed into it. I was working at a studio and this guy Sovtech MIG, somebody had stepped on a cable and smashed one of the jacks out and he was super fucking upset about it. So I put a new pair of jacks in his Sovtech MiG 100H, and from there on, like every time something tube fucked up, it was like, oh, he can fix it. And fucking, it took me a while to figure out actually how to fix that stuff. Building and stuff, I got into just because I wanted to go beyond what the usual circuit designs are. In repairing, I learned to tone chase stuff too, so I started building amps that were built out of, let's call it a base circuit. Let's say it's like a Princeton or something. That was your base design. But I have all kinds of mods for that. So now if I build a circuit and build an amp and I use a Princeton circuit, it has all the hacks and mods that I would normally do to somebody's amp when I'm tone chasing that amp. I build that right into a fresh build instead. And I usually build things because I want them. Like I repaired an original Tweed Bassman, the 5F6A, for this guy, and fucking have one. So I built one of those, but in a head version, so I could plug it into different cabinets. The orange AD30, I always loved the dirty channel on that. I could never afford one. So I built one that was just the dirty channel in the power section. That's kind of how it goes for me. I can always build something, but it's rare that I can afford to actually buy something. And the parts are much cheaper than buying the assembly of the whole with somebody's name on it. So, yeah, that's how that goes. And building
Didn't you
amps.
say your grandfather was?
Yeah, my dad's father was. He did radio repair, and he did in the Air Force. He was a radar tech or whatever.
Did he ever teach you stuff, or?
Nah, he died before I was.
Oh, okay. So, is there any connection between, or is that just kind of like it was in your family a little bit?
I think it's kind of like in the blood because he did that kind of stuff when my dad was a kid. He was into like electronic control circuits, sort of like almost robotics type of shit. But it was like pressure switches and sensors and things that he had built like this. It was a remote controlled tank, and he had fitted sensors all the way around it and had a brain box on a tether that ran it. All the logic was in the box, and the tank had basically like copper clad board on top with the switches mounted to it.
Whoa.
And any time it bumped one of those switches, when it would run into something, it would trigger a different logic state, and it would make it do something different.
Wow.
So if it bumped,
that sounds pretty advanced for.
Yeah. So he was like in his teens. He and his father built this thing. If it bumped something in the front, let's say it would back up for. It would run both motors backwards for, let's say,
3 seconds.
Yeah, let's say 3 seconds, right? But if it bumped into something on one side or the other, it would turn the opposite way and continue going backwards until either the timer ran out or it bumped into something again. So basically it would just run around the room, running into shit and driving around in patterns, I guess. In storage, I still have the logic boards that came out of that thing. It's fucking insane.
That's crazy.
So I think there's like 22 chips or something that make that assembly do that. It's pretty fucking nuts.
Gotta get you on the pod, man. We gotta interview you. I'd love to get all this stuff on the pod.
I wish my grandfather had lived long enough for me to ask him a lot of the things that I wanted to know.
Sounds like, yeah.
And, my dad was into it, but he was into, like, he built some audio circuits, mostly, like, weird little noisemaker, oscillator, color organ things. But they were, like, out of project books, and he would do, his own, his own housing with it and build it out. But it was never, like, guitar-related stuff. It was always, whatever he felt like building at the time.
Yeah.
So somewhere around there's what's called a color organ. It's a little box like this with a speaker in it, plugs into the wall. And I think it has 8 buttons, and each button has a different tone. They're not really tuned to anything necessarily, they're just sounds. And they're sequential, not chromatically, but low to high. And you can play little songs on it.
That's dope.
And he probably built that thing in, like, I don't know, the early 70s or something. When he was young. But and he still retains the the theories on a lot of the stuff. So like when I was working full time with my dad, you know, when it would come up to like how to control something electrically or electronically, you know, we could sort of speak the same language about stuff, which was nice. But anyway, enough of that tangent.
That's cool, man. I like that. I like hearing about that stuff. We should do. I want to do a dedicated pod and just interview about all this, about the origins of the wizard. Oh, Earthquaker hoof. Have you ever used that? Earthquaker.
I haven't.
I know the thing.
What did you do?
What? That's
Currently working on a track titled "Another Prick in the Wall." It's about a truck stop glory hole.
Jesus. Whew. Jesus, Ricky.
Oh man.
That sounds. I don't know. I'm not even gonna go there, Matt. You doing all right, Matt?
Giant tree, yeah. What's the saying? Necessity is the mother of invention, or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I would suggest if you're looking to get into building stuff that you can't afford to buy, then look into kits. And if you're into, you know, studio kits, look at like the hairball shit. You can buy like 1176 clone kits and all sorts of shit for, you know, probably half or less what it would cost you to buy a real 1176. You can build some killer shit on the DIY. And if you're really crafty, you can dig through your parts box and build, you know, fuzz pedals and, you know, simple devices out of just shit that's laying around. And if you want a really interesting illustration of that, if you Google building a fuzz pedal out of a compact fluorescent bulb, you'll find it.
Whoa.
There's a guy who cracked open the base of a compact fluorescent, which has a switching power supply. There's several transistors, a bunch of resistors, and a bunch of caps in there. If you gut that, there's enough shit in there to build like sort of a weird fuzz face thing. So, hotel. It's not that I'm advocating the vandalism of compact fluorescents in hotels. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, if you're bored. I think Neve was a radar tech too, yes.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure about that. What's your opinion on Vintage Vibe VV50?
Don't know it.
Yeah, I never heard of that either, David. Huh? Oh, Julian had a hoof, won it. It's a muff with LED for clipping and 2 of the 4 transistors germanium. Modified tone stack with more mids. Huh. I've heard the people that, you know, like those really like them. And I've heard the same thing. It's some kind of muff variation. So there it is.
Wait, is the hoof...
There's a couple of them.
Wait, is it like cream color with red print and dual foot switches?
That's like a newer version of it, I think. Let's look it up.
I did a repair on one of those.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Good, bad, ugly.
What?
Good, bad, ugly.
It wasn't bad.
This little guy? Or the big guy?
No, it was a big one. Yeah, like that. But
Reaper? It's a dual one?
Maybe it's a Reaper. It was white and red.
I think they have color variations, and I think that...
It was alright. I didn't get to spend a lot of time with it, but it was in for like a power jack and a blown diode. But,
yeah, I think that one's actually, like, Hoof Reaper, I think, is like basically just a combo. But it looks like, I don't know enough about it, but...
Vintage 30s Celestians are alright. I'm sort of more partial to the Alnico Blues or the Alnico Golds.
Oh, it has an octave, too.
Yeah, Hoof Reaper. That's the thing that I fixed. Yep.
Yeah, like, I know...
I mean, it's pretty cool, but I didn't get to spend hours with it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, from what I understand, the EQD stuff is... Or is that what they say? EQD? Earthquaker? Yeah.
Yeah, Earthquaker devices, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard good things about them, you know?
Yeah.
I had one of theirs, the Dirt transmitter. It was like another... cool pedal, but I had so many distortion, fuzz, overdrive pedals. It was just like another one for the pile, you know.
Right.
I feel like when you get to a certain point with them, and it's like, you know, that was the only one I really had. I think I had the Tone Job too. That one.
What's the Vintage Vibe 50 amp he was asking about?
Oh yeah, let's look it up. Vintage Vibe 50. Yeah, I think that's cool, EQD. I just never. I knew a lot of people have used different ones. Vintage Vibe 50. Oh wait, Vintage Vibe VV. I think that's why it didn't come up.
What is it?
The world's first all-tube electric piano amplifier.
Oh.
Here it is. The world's first tube electric piano amplifier, 50 watts of power driven by two KT88. I don't think there's a link for it.
Scroll down again. More info. Oh, coming soon is all it says. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the KT88 is a really big, ballsy tube. That.
Which one?
Yeah, no, it's fine. Peter Levin actually lives like up the street from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or is it? Is there a difference between Pete and Peter? No, different guy.
Muscle Shoals?
No, Pete Levin is the older brother of Tony Levin, and Pete Levin lives in my neighborhood.
Sounds familiar.
He's been on a bunch of sort of iconic shit. He's a keyboard dude. I
Cool.
don't look like him though.
Some guy playing a keyboard, but it's not the same guy.
So I was saying the KT88s are a big ballsy tube. You get real girthy low end and shit out of them. I always put those in like the stoner rock and doom guys amps because they can handle and provide that big wall of thunder.
I mean, I know that we're over the Corgan phase, but I know too that in the JCM 800, I think he was modded to use KT88s. That's a thing. I don't know.
Certainly could be. There's a lot of things you can modify to run KT88s or 6550s. Most of the Fender stuff you cannot. Power transformers tend to not have the balls to handle the extra current, but
Ty Siegel uses Fuzz Wars. I didn't know that.
shit. Throw my fucking
I
phone.
gotta check more of that Ty Siegel stuff out. Oh, Matt quit smoking 4 years ago today. Wow, congratulations. Have you had a cigarette since, Matt, or is that cold turkey? That's awesome. Either way, that's congrats. I was talking to somebody the other day about who was a smoker and they wanted to quit but couldn't, and I said, "You gotta just do it." They said they were developing emphysema, so that's not good. But yeah, that's some bad shit, Jay. That's
What?
all I'll say about that.
What is?
Smoking.
Oh, yeah. You get used to it.
Yeah, there are 3 versions of that hoof. Like I said, I kind of remember. I don't know the lineage of EQD or whatever, of the history of it, but I know like the guy from Black Keys. What is it? I can't think of his name. The guitar player, obviously. He used that for a long time. That was like his main Distortion. I feel like after that, because I think they're like a Midwest company too, right? They're like out that way.
Yeah.
And I remember I don't want to say like he put them on the map, but I think he sort of did. Because after that, it seemed like when
what the
Black
fuck
Keys
is that
started
guy's
getting
name?
popular. Dan.
Auerbach.
Yeah.
He's got that shitty new song on the radio.
Double team. Dan Auerbach.
Hate that
Yeah.
guy.
I don't know. It seemed like after that, it kind of blew up. That's cool, Good for them. But then it seemed like they started putting out some really different, wild ones, and
Matt, you can get this shirt right off of eBay. I think it was like $12.
Which one? Oh, nice.
And there are versions with like the bow tie untied and hanging. There's ones that have like the corsage thing or whatever the fuck, pocket flower shit.
Matt's at Waffle House eating nice. Dan Auerbach, yep, and Patrick, that's right.
What's going on, Aaron?
Hey, Aaron, what's up?
Matt, do they still have the Texas toast patty melt at Waffle House?
Oh
That
my
used to
God.
be my jam.
You're making me hungry, man.
It's like garlic Texas toast with like a fucking burger and Swiss cheese sandwiched in between it. Oh,
Oh my God.
oh. I'm pretty sure you could have a heart attack if you eat more than one of those a week, but
Oh, use the Neumann KM84 as a vocal mic. Wow.
that's a pencil condenser.
Yeah, the Black Keys, they did some cool shit, man. Like they had a, what is it, Tascam 388. They recorded an album or two. I think Rubber Factory, Rubber Soul, no, Rubber Soul Beatles, Rubber Factory. I think that it's cool. They did a lot of like things on tape and used some interesting equipment.
Hmm. Yeah.
We seem to be hitting these moments where we're just like, yeah.
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 Yeah. I keep hitting these moments where I'm thinking about falafel.
Yeah, I'm definitely like, I think I'm gonna join you tonight.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm fucking starving.
Yeah, I'm either thinking falafel or good pizza.
Oh yeah, we could hit pizza too.
Pizza's cheaper, but falafel's so good. God damn. So there's a falafel place in New Paltz that's fucking amazing. If you like falafel, it comes with like garlic spiced hummus on it and shit.
The homemade hot sauce, right? Is that what we're talking about?
No, there's hummus on the pita.
Oh, right. And didn't they have some
then
kind of
you put
special...
tzatziki over the top, and also their homemade hot sauce. But I forget what he called that. Yeah, I have several Crystal mics actually. Yeah.
Crystal, yeah, I've never used one. What is that Crystal mic?
Really old tech. They're real popular with like harmonica guys.
Is there use like a really like what is the element? Is it crystal?
I'm not exactly sure how it works. It's a polarized, ionized crystal of I'm not sure what.
Gavroff talks about them in Shitty is Pretty. I'm not familiar with that.
I don't know what Shitty is Pretty is, but I should find out. They do sound kind of shitty. They're extremely bandwidth limited, but in a different way than carbon mics are bandwidth limited. You know, I don't think there's such a thing as a bad mic. I just think that like some mics don't work on some sources, or some mics don't work on most sources.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh God. I hope you don't. Well, my crystal mics don't ever get charged in the moonlight, and they still work. So I'm guessing you don't actually have to do that, Catface. Yeah.
Charged in the moonlight?
Yeah, that's the whole thing with the crystals and gems and shit.
That's like the hippie kind of thing.
I don't know.
Yeah. Do you have to charge?
That's part of what I was talking about before. There's a lot of like gemstones in my house. They're not mine, as you might have guessed. But like I wake up like laying on top of them and shit.
Oh jeez.
Like Jesus Christ, why is there fucking rocks in my bed? It's not rocks, it's gemstones. And it's fucking.
I actually have a really funny story about this, and I just realized this. That now you said that. At one point I was having like really bad nightmares. Like this was maybe last year. I don't know why. I think I was like eating too close to bedtime. I was having like really. They were like not. You know, like most dreams or nightmares, they're like, okay, that was not real. Like these were like super realistic, super violent, like just bad shit, right? And it wasn't like keeping me up or anything, but my wife's friend, the coworker, she gave me this stone, and I don't know if this is placebo or what, but it's like some special stone she bought.
It's placebo.
And it's like apparently like her family is part of the Salem, you know, like they came over on like a Mayflower and were like, you know, some sort of, I don't want to say witchcraft, but basically like the stone was apparently like energy. This sounds insane now that I'm talking about this. But all I gotta say is, since I got the stone, I keep it in my pillowcase. This is insane. Yeah, it's been great. I haven't had a single bad dream. Any dream that seems like it's going bad always is fun, and it goes someplace else. So, look, I don't know if it's placebo. I don't know if it's the fucking stone. I don't know if there's any truth to the fact that it's, you know, some sort of Salem witch thing, but it for whatever reason, I don't have nightmares anymore. I feel like I'm revealing a lot of like strange things tonight. First synesthesia, and now stones in my pillow.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Catface, I'm about tangibility, which is why I don't subscribe to religion either. I like shit that you can prove the effect of, things that I can measure.
That's a great quote, Catface. Let me get my stone.
And as far as being the wizard, I didn't give myself that name, so You can blame Mike and the rest of the Task fam for that one. Got nothing to do with me.
Getting my stone. You'll have to tell me if it's an app.
I'll be able to tell you as soon as I look at it, because even though I don't subscribe to the magic of rocks, I've been suggested to. No, that's not.
I don't know what that thing is, where it came from.
Looks like some kind of fucking brown quartz. I don't know. Show that to the camera. Maybe Catface knows.
This is what it is. It's like some kind of like marbleized.
It looks like quartz on the bottom, but I don't know what the top.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna get the light over here.
Brown citrine or something like that.
This is the channel about we're talking crystals, rocks, and this is Mike and Jay's Crystal Rock Hour. Yeah, so I don't know. This little rock.
Can't really see it too good on there, but
yeah, I don't know. Supposedly,
it's sort of brown and
it's got kind of like
tan and brown.
Yeah, but anyway, so this thing, I don't know. I just keep it in my pillowcase, and maybe that's it though too. I stopped eating cheese, and I don't get horrific nightmares.
No, I don't know.
That's what Cafe said. They said you get it, cheese will give you nightmares. I think that's what it is. Like just eating too close to bed fucks me up. So maybe I just stop.
I have this problem where when I eat dinner, I immediately want to go to bed, and if I'm anywhere near my bed and I sit down on it, I'm out. And it doesn't do anything one way or the other, but
weird.
That link I posted is
what is that?
That's the link to the Gabriel whatever shitty is pretty thing.
Oh, dope! This is awesome. I'm gonna bookmarking this right now.
I downloaded it.
It's a PDF. That's cool.
So yeah, it's not that I'm necessarily put off by magic. I just my problem is, as I said, I prefer things that are tangible and.
Oh, this looks cool.
I
Thanks
can
for sharing this
quantify and
article.
qualify with some sort of either test instruments or whatever.
Jay's a skeptic.
No. It's beyond that.
So what would you say then?
Whose zodiac sign, Catface? Mine or Mike's?
I think I think they're saying yours, right?
No, I'm a water sign. I'm Scorpio.
Yeah, I'm water too. Scorpio? That's like. Is that just like a scorpion?
I guess.
Earth. Wild.
November 5th, so there's, I forget what the chart says, I don't know. I knew somebody at one point who did like this whole thing
so
and wanted to
funny,
know
like
my birth date and time and all this crazy shit.
Yeah, somebody
like,
did that to me too. They wanted like my birthplace and like the exact time.
And I also got like in that whole thing, I got like a total numerology readout thing, and I have that saved someplace, I forget. There was like a 9 and an 11 in it, and I fucking forget.
Whoa. Guy Fawkes night.
Actually, somewhere in here I still have the... Let me see. Yeah, so my numerology is... My expression number is 5. My soul urge is 11. Personality number is 3. My life path number is 9. So, Catface, if that helps you... decode me at all. There you go.
Yo, that's cool. Your birthday's on Guy Fawkes night.
Sure.
It's
I know, it's an
annual
English holiday.
commemoration observed on November 5th in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, I thought brown citrine maybe. I think I said that.
Gunpowder Treason Day. Huh.
Yeah, I've
Very
been
cool.
to a few of the gem and mineral shows in like the capital region, and recently I had to go with her to this gem and mineral shop in, I fucking forget, down below Middletown someplace. And
There he is.
I don't know. It's not my thing.
Yeah, it's funny because like I didn't request that rock that I have. It You know, my wife was asking her coworker, and it's just really funny. So citrine.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's what I said. I thought it was brown citrine.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I
you
thought
know
for
what?
some reason I was picturing
Honestly,
that
like,
word spelled a lot differently.
with all that shit, it's like whatever gets you through the night is all right. I don't know. I don't care. Believe anything you
Yeah, I
want to believe.
mean,
I don't
yeah,
give a shit.
exactly, right.
I don't give a shit.
Right. Like had some kind of mesh or something, and they put like a certain kind of necklace on them, like some kind of rocks, and it cleared it up. I don't know.
After you have a kid, you can use a jade egg rock to help re-strengthen your pelvic floor and
Whoa.
yeah, that's a whole other thing. But that's more about like exercises with the rock, sort of Kegel related than anything.
Right.
Anyway.
Astrology. Yeah, astrology. Yeah, I used to keep up with mine a little bit. Matt said he's in Aries.
I don't know. Every once in a while, like I'm feeling real shitty about something, so I'll flip through like the newspaper or whatever, read the horoscope. I'm like, yeah, fuck this guy. This never works. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be the best month of your life. Like, fuck you. Sitting around like wishing I was dead, drinking overpriced coffee, and supposedly this is the best month of my life. Fuck me.
Why are you wishing you were dead?
Life is hard sometimes, Michael. Life is hard sometimes.
I know.
You know, I'm sure you are. We all got our things.
Yeah.
But you know, anyway.
You can talk to me, bro. If you're ever feeling down.
Yeah. I just drowned it in lattes and frozen foo-foo coffee drinks and shit.
Yeah, I mean, that shit makes you feel good. Definitely brings you up. He's dark and brooding. I could see that.
I guess. I don't know. I'm a lot of things. All rolled into one.
Man, any other questions from the Taz fam? Anybody got any? I feel like we're
We went down the rabbit hole.
yeah, it's cool. I just I don't know what to say right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there could be something to astrology. Like there's aspects of it that make a lot of sense. Or to me, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a pseudoscience, right?
well, what is interesting about it is like when you know somebody's sign and you look at like the generalized traits of that, like a lot of times it lines up.
Yeah.
Like the generalized traits of a Scorpio, I exhibit most, if not all of those, given basic definitions. You know, and then you look at like the rising and the whatever rising edge of Scorpio and the descending edge of whatever the fuck, I forget. And there's some like moon thing there that makes me a certain way, evidently, and you know, I mean, it lines up, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Man. I don't know, man.
Well, yeah, that's
Y'all ever messed with Yamaha PM1000? Absolutely. Yep.
What is that? I don't know what this is.
PM1000 was a large format modular
The Japanese
Yamaha
name?
console. Yeah, it's bullshit.
Huh.
Somebody coined that Japanese Neve thing, and then it got applied to Wardbeck as being like the Canadian Neve, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. There are things you can do to them that change the EQ curves and flatten them out or add more distortion like a Neve, but at the end of the day, it's a PM1000. They actually do sound really good on certain things, and I would suggest a full cap job and doing some of the bypass caps and signal path if you're going to mess with one of those. But as a like a first project for racking things, it's fucking doesn't get much easier than that. They're super easy to power. They're pretty easy to modify. Yeah, the Tamura input and outputs are super important to the sound of that PM1000 strip too.
I don't know anything about this. It's fascinating.
Yeah. I have a PM1000 talkback module sitting in my my parts room for a someday project. It's basically like the PM1000 input strip minus the EQ. Just has the head amp and the input transformer. But yeah, I would say if you have access to any of that Yamaha stuff, the PM1000s, the PM2000s use big discrete op amps in each channel, which is fucking cool. PM430, PM700, PM180s were a modular. Those were a rack mount. Those are pretty interesting. If for any reason any of you want to modify 430s or 700s, hit me up because I've done both of those too. Everybody always wants direct outs on like the PM430. And if you're willing to sacrifice the main outs and aux outs on that board, you can make some ass-kicking preamps out of those things. You ever see that 4-channel preamp I built for Dave?
I don't think I have.
Has the Yamaha logo on it and then my logo underneath it on the one side.
That does sound familiar.
Yeah, that's what that is. I took a PM430 console and I hacked it down to 4 channels in 2 rack spaces. And it has 4 channels of mic pre with giant makeup gain amplifiers on the back that drive transformer outs. And then on the extreme right side of the unit, I took the master bus cards, which have line inputs, EQ, makeup gain, and line outputs. So it's really 6 channels, but the other side is meant to be like a master bus EQ kind of deal too. But,
He uses that a lot in sessions, or was
he used to. I don't know if he. I doubt it comes out now. He owns like a fucking like the API lunchbox and shit. So I'm sure he's much past like the fucking all the little Yamaha things that I build. He's looking at designs that minimize harmonic distortion, and I'm still working on designs to try to maximize and control it. So
Yeah, I remember you telling me
thing.
that last week. You guys, it's so funny. You guys are like opposites.
Well, it's good to know how to minimize your harmonic distortion, but for the sonics that I like, I'm not trying to minimize it.
Sure.
I don't want blocking distortion in my designs, which is when things get so woofed out that it's basically square wave garbage. That's too much distortion.
The
But
wolf. Yeah.
you know, he's working on things to try to. One of his designs now, he's got shaved down to, I think it was 0.00025%
Yeah, right.
harmonic distortion.
There's like no distortion.
Jesus Christ.
Matt
It
coming
might as well
through.
be digital if it's going to be like that.
He's coming through with the one of the worst puns I think I've ever heard.
Where at?
He's a Libra. He'll throw a book at you.
Oh, God.
Cafe said, I was thinking Earth because of the down-to-earth nature. Down-to-earth and take no BS nature. Or Gemini because of the cynicism. Well, see, that's funny because I think a lot of people can fall under multiple signs, you know?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Sounds like Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so is Dave coming back, your brother?
It sounds like there's a good possibility of that.
It's cool, man. We've got to have him on the pod.
He seems to think he wants to go to electrical engineering school,
Oh, right.
which is,
Because he wants to, like, build stuff?
yeah. I'm not sure that going to electrical engineering school is going to teach him the things that he wants to know. It's going to teach you how to build, like, cell phone shit and, like, I don't know. They're on some totally different shit. Analog audio can all be found in the reference literature of the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
What is it? Matt, I don't know what you're referencing there. Doesn't he host Catfish now? Is that Rupert and Eve? I don't know. I don't think he does.
Wait, there's 12 planets and 12 houses? Oh, man, I don't know.
That's a good question. But digitizing a 4-track mix, I'm going to start over. When digitizing a 4-track mix, do you capture stereo out or the individual 4 individual tracks?
To me, that would depend on if I intended to mix it further in the box or if the 2-bus coming out of the stereo out coming out of the 4-track was what I wanted to hear digitized.
Yeah, I think it all depends what you want to do with it in post, because like the stuff I did recently on the 4-track that I've been putting out on Fridays, those are just mixes bounced down from the 424.
Yeah, I mean that's how I would tend to use it. I think
pump them into the computer. But yeah, I mean, if you're trying to save like your mix downs or trying to save the individual tracks, or you want to like mix those tracks in the computer, then the individual outs will do you well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty much the deciding factor, I'd say. If you like the mix and the sound, you just want to send it to mastering, because that's something I want to do with Jay's. What is that art thing you got? We were talking about. I'm like Snag.
Yeah. Pro VLA.
Jay has like a Pro VLA art. I used to have one, and Jay's modified his, and we were talking about. So I want to do some mastering videos with mastering direct from the 4-track. So I'd probably run something like that. You know, do a stereo mix out into that guy and see what happens.
Yeah.
Could be cool.
Yeah.
So in that sense, yeah, it would be that. You know. But yeah, I guess it depends what your end goal is. Cafes. With those Behringer USB RCA things, you can capture the first 2 tracks played again to get track 3 and 4.
Most likely it would drift too much.
Yeah.
I don't think I would trust that.
Yeah. The same here is like, even in the videos that I did on like the past Fridays, like I filmed myself playing, but there was like even just enough drift that by the time the end of those videos, like some of them, I'm like really like the playing is really off, but it's like I can't really do anything about it because I literally film myself with one take, but then like the beginning is on, but there's so much drift that.
Well, what you could be doing is taking the output of that track from your 424 and putting it into the thing for post audio that way.
Like in real time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, track it into the computer as you're doing the thing to tape.
That's brilliant, man.
So that when you at least have it for editing purposes, even though it won't be totally accurate to the tape sound.
This guy over here.
Multiplexing.
It's a great idea, yeah. I mean, I wasn't expecting there to be drift on it. That's the funniest thing, you know. I wouldn't think that.
Well, I think with the cassette, the only time you'll notice the drift is when you try to actually do something that forces it to be compared to something that's linear.
Yeah, right.
Because like your camera its FPS is linear. There's no waiver in that unless there's something wrong with it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's like because it's like a music video, right? If you did a music video to a 4-track track, you can change things and whatever. Music videos doesn't really line up. That's not a good example, but you know, if I like some of those tracks, I like black them out because it's like so off, and then I kind of like blacked it out and then like nudged it over.
Cut in, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so I would say that you're gonna have too much drift on that if you use that, because like that's always the thing people run into. People ask about. It's like, you know, someone was actually asking about that just before we went live. I got an email earlier this afternoon or something, and they were asking about, does the 414, that's what I was asking Jay when he came over, does it have individual outs? And I said, not really, unless you mod it.
Yeah.
And it's like the same thing. Like, it's such a common question. And my buddy Matt was telling me, though, that Logic, if you have Logic, they're new. I did those videos on FlexTime a couple months ago and trying to see if you could line it up with FlexTime, and you can. And now FlexTime, it's like an algorithm that analyzes it and puts it according to a grid or some shit.
Right.
But it figures it out. But now they have an automatic feature that, so you could bounce all 4 tracks into your computer, and then it'll automatically line them up. Whether it works or not, I've heard it works really well, but I've yet to do anything with it because I've just been, I don't know, too many ideas, too many things I'm trying to get done.
I don't like the idea of the whole FlexTime thing. I feel like there's way too much margin for like fucking up the vibe of an otherwise good track.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess it
depends what you're doing.
It depends what you're doing. I mean, I guess if you want to mix your stuff on the computer, it's going to be impossible. Because like people, I think Twin or Coop, one of those guys was saying like they tried doing that stuff. They used to do that a lot, and it was like they bounce stuff individually because they
Yeah,
didn't have a
that's all
house,
fucked
and
up.
it's like damn near impossible, if not impossible, to like
Yeah.
line that shit up.
Yeah, you can't.
But then again, like Jay just said, I think that can almost be the magic of it. There's a little push and pull, and it's not just
Well, a little push and pull is okay, but if it's
I mean, like on the track overall, like maybe it's not completely to like a
I think you never if you didn't have something to compare it to, you'd never
Never
hear
noticed
it
it.
unless it dragged huge or there was
Yeah.
tape flanging because the tape was fucked up
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, I would use the RCA line
238 mini mixer.
If you're just trying to EQ and clean up the overall mix in the DAW, I would just use the 2. If you intend to do mix, to do EQ and clean up work per track in the DAW,
Yeah.
then you're going to need the individual outs into an
Yeah.
interface.
Yep. Yeah, that's like one thing I do is doing like if I'm trying to like reuse a tape, I do that a lot. I'll try to bounce them all out individually. Because then I know, like, okay, this is everything that's on the tape. Because sometimes it's like not a rush job, but you want to make sure you save what's on the tape before you got to re-record. Oh yeah, somebody was asked. That's so funny. Like somebody was asking me about that. I think last week, the 238 and getting one. They found a good deal on one.
8 tracks on a cassette scares me.
I think
Excuse
it's.
me.
I mean, I guess it's some kind of different type of technology, right? But yeah, it seems like a lot to fit in on there. I've always wanted to get a one of those
What's the-
rack-mounted 4-track ones.
It works fine. Do you find that like you run out of headroom faster with it because the track is narrower? Curious.
Yeah, I'd be curious about that too.
I've definitely seen those before.
This guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's, I forgot, is it 2 Tascam 234? That's like the 4-track one. There's one that's like, I want to get one of these, but it's fucking insane, the price on this. But basically a rack mount 4-track. That would be
Is
dope.
it though?
I think so. What makes you think it might not be? Just the look of it?
Yeah. The knob layout doesn't, to me, say 4 tracks. The meters, to me, look like stereo input level, stereo output level. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not
What
exactly.
does it? Oh no, it's labeled 1 through 4. Output, pan, input. Boy, it doesn't get much fucking simpler than that, does it? No EQ, nothing.
Yeah.
That could be kind of cool if you had a small mixer to go with it.
Right.
Jesus, look how deep that is.
Yeah.
You need like a 2-foot deep rack just to fit that thing
I
in.
know, it's fucking huge.
Jesus.
I can't believe I mean, I don't know if anybody's paying this kind of price for it.
How much is it?
7. Yeah, at that point, it's like, it's funny, man. It's really funny. If one happened upon my doorstep, I would say no, but I don't think I wouldn't. Just the prices are fucking outrageous. Anyway.
Matt, I don't know if he's tried that with the Nakamichi thing.
Oh, I'm getting ready to make some tapes with this, Matt. It's gonna be dope. Mike, did you and Jay ever? Oh no, I never did that yet. I have the tape. I ordered that tape from
Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah. How do you do it, Jay? So you just put it in there?
Put it in there, close the door. Put it on play, feed it an input.
And just like clip it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just hit it until it makes a sound that either sounds really, really bad and that's where you should stop, or until it makes a sound you like.
Cool. Yeah. Gotta add that one to the list. Oh, 190. That does sound like a good deal.
I would think the missing front cassette door probably is not a deal breaker either. As long as the transport and all the mechanisms function properly without that door, it's probably okay. I wonder what shipping would be from Poland, though.
Well, Cafes is
$400.
in Ireland, so shouldn't be too
That's
bad.
still pretty far from Poland, isn't it?
I'd say it's
like-
what, probably about as far as like Texas is from us, maybe, or not even.
That's not so bad.
I guess it depends if there's customs duties and things like that. Yeah, like DHL or one of those companies, I'm sure. It's all landlocked. $20.
$20.
That's awesome.
Damn.
Oh, these units have issues with motor speeding up.
That's got to be a voltage regulation issue to the motor drive, though.
No VAT with an EU. That's dope.
Oh, word.
Yeah, Jay, that's all.
So you could get really fancy with the motor voltage regulation and make that adjustable and turn it into an advanced pitch control. Oh,
It's not a bug. It's a feature.
correct.
Oh, that would be a good title for some kind of segment. I've been thinking about like new channel show ideas. That would be a good one. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Maybe that could be the title.
Yeah, I like the rack mountability of certain things.
Yeah, I like that too.
Having racks.
I've been wanting to
keep shit
rack
neat
this
and out of the way.
Nakamichi, yeah.
You just got to get ears for it. Or a
Yeah,
shelf.
I measured it though, and it's like
How wide is it?
I think it'll fit in there, but it's like maybe too tall.
How wide is it?
I don't know.
Well, it needs to be under 19 inches to fit within the rack rails.
Yeah, I think it'll fit this way widthwise, but like up and down, it's too.
Yeah, but you take the feet off of it. So what's the faceplate height?
Oh,
Faceplate height is probably
tape
3.5 inches, maybe a little more. So I bet it's probably just over 2 spaces. Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't rack mount it and use it.
So we got 4
Yeah.
by 17. So that's to be under 19.
How wide is it?
17.
Yeah, so that'll fit on a rack shelf. And what was it, 4 tall?
Yeah.
So you need a 3 space hole to put that in.
That's where I'm at now.
It's 2.28 rack spaces tall
Right.
with the feet off. And where the feet are bolted on is what you'd actually bolt the rack shelf to it. Or
Maybe
get to the
maybe I'll
rack
just
shelf
get one of
with.
those. You don't have an extra one you'd be willing to sell me, do you?
Rack shelf?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I have to
I
take
don't
something
actually
out.
even possess one. I don't vent my racks either because I would have to have like 90 fucking spaces to fit all my shit in there.
Yeah, my thing is 3, 4, 5. It's a 6-unit one.
Matt, no, we haven't
No,
we haven't done the thing with the Nakamichi yet.
we got to do that.
Or Mike hasn't.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it for sure.
It's got the tape ordered.
Get all Beatlesy with various speed vocals. That'd be dope.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Matt, I gotta get that too. It's another one. I should probably add it to my notebook. I've been meaning to make a video list, so I'm making a note of it right now, Matt. We're gonna get to that because I ordered that tape and it came, and then it's just been crazy here. Rack shells, the guy from Dream Machine. Oh, nice. Overdrive. Neck.
Yeah, you can get those universal rack shelves pretty cheap used on eBay sometimes too.
Yeah.
They have like 10,000 hole patterns all drilled in them and shit.
Yeah, I don't care
Some
about
of those,
that.
well, some of those holes will line up with the holes that originally screwed the feet on. So you use the original feet screws, through the rack shelf to bolt that solidly to the rack shelf. That's the deal. That's why they have all those holes.
Oh, I see. It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Like a 20... Oh, you're talking about like server cabinets, David.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I would love to get... That would be a great deal. I would get one of those. Nice.
Yeah, the studio I built in Scarsdale had one of those in it.
20U?
No, it was like a fucking... I think it was 50 maybe. It was basically floor to ceiling.
Oh my god.
It was fucking huge. It was vented and had convection cooling with fans.
Whoa.
It was fucking serious.
A real music angled shelf.
I don't know what that is. I have to look at it.
I'm quickly getting to a position. I mean, I'm already there, but kind of outgrown my corner of my bedroom space here. I gotta I don't know. I'm gonna have to expand at some point, knock a wall down or something.
Whew. You better talk to Beck about that.
Nah, I can't do it. But yeah, I gotta. It's funny. It's like if I had Well, that's the thing. Like setup is important. I think I don't know if it's something that's overlooked, but having all your shit ready to go when you need it in a way that's comfortable for you in your studio, I think is a very important, and there's an art to it, and it's something that constantly changes.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
For me, it's constantly reassessing and moving things around. Maybe that's I don't know. Maybe a good idea to move out of the bedroom. Yeah, I want to take over my living room and make it into like a legit. Yeah, she would. Yeah. It's just spaces are fucking expensive, man. At least around here, I'd love to have it like a spot.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, It's like a silver bullet. It needs to be like secure, climate controlled, electric.
You're talking about like the perfect storm.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
and budget conscious, budget friendly.
Exactly.
Whew. And not have rats or pest problems or
Yeah.
vagrants in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tricky.
It's very tricky. I've come across a couple spaces here in the valley that, for varying reasons, just don't work out for me.
Yeah.
And pretty much for all the reasons you just named. And asbestos. Don't forget asbestos on that list. Asbestos filled.
Asbestos. Well, that's fine as long as it's not friable. So what was your big change, David?
Yeah, this might be the last question.
Yeah, we just hit the 9
o'clock hour.
That means it's almost falafel time.
It's almost falafel time, folks.
And I'm starving.
I'm starving, Marvin.
This guy's starving. I might go pizza though, because it's cheaper.
Yeah, I might do that too. You want to go to that place?
Yeah.
I don't know what else is open. Oh, maybe we could drive up to Reno's.
I don't want to drive anywhere.
No, all right.
The weather's supposed to be nice tonight too, so
Yeah,
it
it's
should be a rainless
beautiful.
walk, thankfully.
I sold my Fender Rhodes
Oh, shit.
88 for $2K and bought myself a vintage vibe piano. Whoa!
Nice one.
Nice.
Damn.
What inspired the change, David? Oh,
Damn. $6,500. Holy shit, man.
that's insane. Whew. What was the you just needed a change, or was there like some
Functionality and
Yeah.
sonics, I would suspect.
well, Rhodes is very has like a very specific sound, right?
Does.
That's amazing. Great deal. Yeah, I should look up rack shelves right now while we're on the Craigs. While we're on the Craigs. Do you ever look through Craigslist, Jay, for stuff?
Not often. Because it's usually the same idiots selling the same garbage.
Trying to sell the same shit for like years.
Well, there's
yeah.
these fucking guys that like... Hold on a second. What the fuck is that? That's a clarinet or some shit. Never mind. I don't know. There's like these guys that go around to like yard sales and stuff and buy shit and try to flip it for like way more than it's worth.
Yeah.
And they just clog the whole shit up over and over.
Yeah. What's that thing?
It looks like it's a CMI. I was gonna say Ames.
Yeah, let me look up the rack shelf. Thanks for the tip, David. Oh, SMD equipment case. Oh, there's one. $100 with trip light and cyber power UPS.
That's awesome, David. Seems like that piano kind of checks all the boxes. So that's
nice. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Wow. Matt's gonna sell some guitars. What do you got, Matt, that you're selling?
You buying?
Nah.
I saw a sub kick on there. Scroll back up. What was that?
Where's that? Oh, this guy?
Right there.
Whoa, what is this stuff? Rain?
Rain is probably an EQ.
$300 for that.
A sub kick?
Yeah.
Nah.
I was looking at this thing, but that's...
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. It's like something that would never make it in here.
No. Looks like a bunch of screw holes in your walls for no good reason.
Huh.
Yeah. Alright, well, we've come around on it, everyone.
Yeah, funny stream tonight. I don't know. We got into some strange, esoteric, otherworldly talks.
I feel like we shed a whole bunch of viewers pretty quick once we went down the rabbit hole.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But anyway, so...
Well, it's good to
thanks
see
for
everybody.
everybody
Everybody stopped
hanging
by. Yeah, we got some familiar faces. We had some new faces.
Interesting convo.
You know, I think last week we really hit it out of the park. So it was kind of... This week we were probably, you know...
I mean,
I always have fun. He always has fun. So. But they need a good end, yeah. Yeah, the roads, that's what I always heard. They're fucking super heavy.
they are. The two-man carry on those even sucks.
Yeah.
You need like 4 people. So yeah, great stream, everyone.
Yeah, good
Thanks
times.
for coming
Thanks
out,
for
hanging
stopping
out.
through. David, good to see you. We haven't seen you in a while. I feel like we haven't chatted.
Make sure you
Matt, what up, brother?
like, subscribe, do something you want to do. Email him 424recording@gmail. Email me operationaudio@gmail.
Bye, Julian. Thanks for hanging around through our craziness tonight.
And make sure you do something you want to do each and every single day of your life.
It's important. It's very important.
And
Oh, Cafes, thanks for bumping the Patreons. If you want to check out our Patreons, they're /424 recording and /Operation Audio. Oh, it's all good, David. Yeah, I hope you feel better.
oh yeah, no worries.
And we
no
know
worries.
everybody filters in and out and comes back, and so.
Sometimes,
and guys, I heard from
sometimes life
Jeremy.
happens
I heard
also.
from Exodus.
Oh, word? What?
He's doing
What
well.
happened to Exodus?
He just doesn't use his computer much anymore because he has the RSI issues.
Mm.
And he says he would love to stop by the chat, but since he can't type and he doesn't have the voice dictation, he said it would be too hard for him to not chat with everybody because it'd be too hard to sit in the stream and not say anything because he loves chatting, but he can't type because of his RSI.
What if he called in and we put him on speakerphone?
We could do that.
That'd be a long ass phone call, but we could do that.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah,
maybe we will.
I'm not opposed to like speakerphone chats. Why the hell not?
Yeah, it's true. If you can't, yeah, we could. Yeah, man, we could make it a call-in show. Hey, maybe next week we'll change the format.
Jesus. But I mean, I feel like isn't there like a Google voice chat hangout thing?
Google Hangouts, I think.
But you can do voice chat with that, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to look into that. But anyway, thanks
Next
everybody
caller.
for coming out.
All right, yeah.
Next caller, you're on with Mike.
You're on with Mike and Jay.
Mike, I have a question about I have a question about yes, caller. What might it be?